friends, I am Arpit and now I am here with the third part of Yojana for the month of November 2023. Now, in earlier two parts, we've covered in the first part, that is what happened, what all were the key initiatives taken under G20, the New Delhi Leaders Declaration. In the second part, we covered three topics, that was the Green Pact first, Green Development Pact, second was India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, and the third topic was Global Biofuels Alliance. Now, in this third part, we're going to cover two topics. Both of them are related to, I would say, technology. And the first topic is the digital public infrastructure and public participation. Now, before delving into this, we need to understand that what does this term digital public infrastructure mean? Public infrastructure is that infrastructure which is for the use or open for the use of the common public. It is for them, it is for their benefit. And this infrastructure, if it is on digital platform, then that is termed as digital public infrastructure. Like for example, the government is providing broadband connections under BharatNet initiative. Digital public infrastructure it is. Aadhaar card is being linked with your bank accounts, with your mobile numbers. Digital public infrastructure. You got vaccinated and you had to use that app Covin or Arogya Setu to get vaccinated. First book the slot, and then when you went there, they asked you to open that app and give that number. When you were coming out of or after vaccination, your certificate was there on your app. Digital public infrastructure. You need to store your documents. You can do it on DigiLocker. And those documents are valid. Like for example, you store your driving license on that DigiLocker app. And if, the police, they catch you, you can show that. And that is valid. So, as digitalization is increasing, the digital divide is reducing. The government is using this more and more to extend services to the people, to make lives of the people easier, to make its life also easier, to make sure that services are available to the people, to bring in more and more transparency, e-governance. That is all digital public infrastructure. And India has gained a lot of progress in this domain, digital public infrastructure. Countries all across the world, including some developed countries, are asking for India's help in this domain. These countries are struggling in their digital transformations or digital transitions. They are physical based, governance systems. And from those physical based governance systems, they have to transform to digital based governance systems. That transformation or that transition is being difficult for them. It was difficult for India also when we started with the Digital India program in 2015, and slowly and gradually we transformed our governance to e-governance. Did we face challenges? Yes, we faced challenges. We faced a lot of challenges. But now our I would say, digital public infrastructure is robust. Aadhaar is the backbone of our digital public infrastructure. The next topic which we are going to study in this session is the responsible use of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is one of the most talked about terms these days. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Now, when the machines, particularly the computers and all, or softwares, they try to impersonate human intelligence. Obviously, they will not be able to do so completely because, humans are bound to express emotions, which machines cannot. Humans are bound to do errors, which machines are not doing it. Machines they show intelligence or they exhibit intelligence on pre-fed inputs in them. Now let's suppose, there's an e-commerce website from which you have done shopping and you have some issue with the product which you've got. Now you want to chat or you want to talk to the customer care executive of that particular, I would say, company. So you go on the website, there's this option, chat with us. So you open that option. There are, certain, I would say, predefined inputs which you have to give. So you give one of the inputs, then you get an instant response. Then on the basis of that response, you give another input, you get an instant response. That is basically not the humans replying from the back end. It is the machines which are replying. They are using their intelligence in assessing what kind of inputs they are receiving. And on the basis of that, they are replying. That is a classic example of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is being misused also. We've recently seen Rashmika Mandhana's case, deep fakes. We've seen or we've heard a lot about Chat GPT, where a lot of misinformation is present. Now, when the reader is reading that particular information on Chat GPT, which happens to be a misinformation because Chat GPT collects, the algorithm is designed in such a way that it collects all the available information on the internet, and from that it creates an answer and gives it to you. What if that information available on the internet is wrong? But you are using Chat GPT, so you believe that this information is right. You form a perception accordingly. So, that's where artificial intelligence goes wrong. There are multiple benefits of this, but there are certain challenges also of AI. Benefits like I told you about this example that you got vaccinated, and as soon as you were coming out of the vaccination center, you had your certificate with your name, Aadhaar details and all in your mobile number in such a short span of time. That certificate was created by using artificial intelligence. In that certificate, your name was there, your Aadhaar details were there, the date when you got vaccinated, the time when you got vaccinated, the center where you got vaccinated. Everything was there on that certificate. So in such a short span of time, humans will not be able to create that certificate, but artificial intelligence did. That is the good use of AI. And here in the G20 summit, the leaders of these countries talked about responsible AI, RAI, and emphasized on the fact that, better and better usage of artificial intelligence has to be done. And the negative use of artificial intelligence has to be, I would say, stopped. So all these we're going to study in these two topics. Now, the digital public infrastructure and public participation. Now, India has been, transitioning from a physical, I would say, pencil paper based, I would say, society to a digital society. And this transformation is impactful. This transformation has led many to be included in the financial inclusion net. Many bank accounts have been opened. Many, people, almost all of us have got this unique identity in the name of Aadhaar. The subsidies are being transferred directly to the bank accounts of the people in the form of direct benefits transfers. When you are traveling by highways, you don't have to stop and pay cash. You're paying toll tax via FASTag. There's no need of storing your documents physically. You have this, I would say, this application which is called as, I think, the DigiLocker app. So all these are examples of digital public infrastructure which has made our life easier, which has made governance also easier, service delivery also easier. And now India is ready to help other countries also in this aspect. So let us look into the details of this. Now, significance of DPI in a world marked by growing digitalization. The demand for a strong digital public infrastructure has become vitally important, not only in India but all across the world. DPI is an essential catalyst for enhancing resilience, facilitating service provision, and fostering innovation. Now we are using more and more digital products to deliver services to the people, to make lives of the people easier. Now, this technological transformation and digital public infrastructure was one of the key agendas under New Delhi Leaders Declaration under India's presidency. So, we needed to do that. Now, DPI in India, actually, if you see closely, that the theme of this year's G20 summit was Vasudev Kutumbakam, means the entire world is one family. And that is how the tagline was: One Earth, One Family, One Future. This One Earth will be considered or should be considered as one family because we have a collective future. This future will be bright. This future will be, I would say, more harmonious, more better if we think about inclusive development right now. And one of the, I would say, landmark tools for ushering in inclusive development is digital public infrastructure. And hence, in line with this vision, India plans to build and maintain a global digital public infrastructure repository. Means this is going to be a repository of best practices with respect to the digital public infrastructure. So this needs to be understood. JAM Trinity and DPI. What is JAM Trinity? JAM stands for Jandan. Bank accounts were open. The Pradhan Mantri Jandan Yojana. A stands for Aadhaar, which has given a unique identity, and M stands for mobile numbers. Your Aadhaar has given you a unique identity by your biometrics. Your Aadhaar has been linked to your Jandan accounts, bank accounts. Means a person can have a bank account and that person is actually existing. And that bank account has been linked with mobile numbers and the Aadhaar is also linked with mobile numbers. So this is called as JAM Trinity. Now what has been the benefit of it? First of all, the government is able to transfer subsidies or any kind of support directly to your bank accounts. How the government identifies that this bank account belongs to that person? Because that bank account is linked with Aadhaar. Once the money is transferred, you get that message on your mobile phone. You're aware about that. Now earlier what was happening? First, that money was not getting transferred to your bank account because it was getting leaked. Less than 10% of the amount which any beneficiary was entitled for was reaching that beneficiary. The second is that there were many ghost beneficiaries. Actually, those beneficiaries did not exist, but subsidies were being released on their names. That entire amount was being kept by the Babujis and the Netajis. So that was, I would say, one such, point of leakage. So these things, are being tackled by this JAM Trinity. A lot of leakage has been reduced. Now with this JAM Trinity, financial inclusion has also increased. Financial inclusion was to 25% in 2008 and now more than 80% within the past 6 years has happened. Financial inclusion is when the people in your country are having access to any of the financial services. Financial services like banking, investment, or I would say credit, insurance, pension. Now 80% of the people in India are having access to this. Means we can say that financial inclusion has accelerated to 80% with JAM Trinity in place. Then it is also estimated that this level of financial inclusion from 25% to 80% would have taken 47 years without the implementation of DPI. If this DPI would not have been there, then it would have taken 47 years. But now, 2008 to 2023, only in a span of, I would say, 15 years, this has been done. So this is the magic of JAM Trinity. Now, DPI in government to person transactions. Government to persons means common people. Government is doing transactions. Subsidies, the eligible beneficiaries, they are receiving subsidies directly in their bank account, and there's no other route of receiving subsidies. Definitely, people will open bank accounts. They have no other options. And for opening bank accounts, the government has launched this scheme, Jan Dhan Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Now, it is estimated that around rupees 32.29 trillion have been directly transferred to the beneficiaries across 53 central government ministries through 313 key schemes till date. Now, this has been transferred, reached the end beneficiary. And if DPI, this Jandan and all were not there, then less than 10% of it was the estimated at that time. UPI and DPI. UPI, Unified Payment Interface. You might all know about this. That has also been developed by the government. Now, recently, the Australian Deputy Prime Minister was here in India and he was very much in awe of this mode of payment transfer. So, this is there, and some facts and figures about UPI. Over 10.586 billion transactions, totaling approximately 15.76 trillion rupees, were recorded in August 2023. I would say till August 2023 it was recorded. UPI Pay now linking India with 11 other countries: France, Singapore, Australia, Canada, Hong Kong, Oman, Qatar, USA, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and United Kingdom. This is in line with G20's focus on financial inclusion. So, this is also one such, I would say, achievement. Now, other key initiatives under DPI. First is Digital India and BharatNet. Digital India is basically a scheme which was launched in the year 2015 with G20's commitment to bridging the digital divide. It focuses on providing digital infrastructure and promoting digital literacy, both essential elements highlighting the G20 declaration. So it is under Digital India program everything is happening, e-governance and all. Apart from it, imparting digital literacy is also one of the components of this. Now, as of 11 September 2023, BharatNet, the second one, project has successfully linked on 2,02,028 gram panchayats with 6,58,685 kilometers of optical fiber cables installed. This BharatNet aims to provide broadband services in the rural areas. So this has been the achievement. Furthermore, 6,43,789 fiber to the home connections have been activated and 1,04,675 Wi-Fi hotspots have been deployed. So internet penetration is happening more and more. The next is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, the Yojana under which bank accounts and other financial services are being provided to the citizens. And that is again very much important. As of 13 September 2023, under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, the total number of beneficiaries across different types of banks, including public sector banks, regional rural banks, private sector banks, and rural cooperative banks, amounted to 50.41 crore. The good part is that out of this 50.41 crore, 27.98 crore, means more than 50%, around 28 crore, were rural urban females. Rupees 20,494.18 billion with 34.26 crore debit cards, rupee debit cards, have been issued till now. This has been the achievement of Jan Dhan Yojana. Now, Make in India. Basically, it is a scheme which was launched in 2014 with this objective of reducing India's imports and reducing India's dependency. Now, many startups in India or many companies in India, they are making Make in India products, good quality products, and these products are promoting digitalization in the country. So, this has actually, I would say, is actually fueling this digitalization in the country. It has also generated around 4,64,217 actual jobs also. So this is how things are changing with respect to this startup India. We are, called as, some people do refer India as the startup capital. but that tag in itself is very vague. Now, startup has nurtured entrepreneurship and innovation, no doubt about this fact. This DPIIT has recognized 99,380 startups and a user base of 6,64,486 on the Startup India portal. Means these many startups are there which are registered on this portal. Out of this, 99,000 are DPIIT recognized. And on that portal, they get access to funding, mentorship, and regulatory reforms. Again, this platform, an example of digital India, or I would say digital public infrastructure. Then, as of May 31st, 2023, India accommodates 108 unicorns, accounting to a combined valuation of $340.80 billion. 17 startups are contributing significantly in India's digital ecosystems by developing innovative solutions. So, this startup culture is basically the driver for fueling in innovation, and that is very much needed. Many startups are tech based startups, many startups are digital startups. They are producing digital products which the country needs and out of which the country benefits. Then the smart city mission. What are smart cities? Smart cities are those cities where information and communication technology is at the core of every infrastructure. Like you used to pay the bills earlier, you used to go and stand in long queues, spend half a day over there, get the bill paid, and used to come back. But now all those civic amenities can be paid by sitting at home. Just you open an app, do the payments, you're done. Your time is saved, government's time is saved, your life is easy, their life is easy. Now, under this smart city mission, 100 mission cities have been identified, which include 7934 total projects, involves a total estimated cost of 70,392 crore rupees. Through these initiatives, it is actively enhancing the digital capabilities of selected cities. Wi-Fi hotspots are being there, installed intelligent transportation systems are being used, data-driven governance solutions are being given. All these are examples of smart cities, or all these are, I would say, elements of smart cities. The next is the Umang app and DigiLocker. Umang app is such an app which is very useful. On the Umang app, you can find all the services which the government is providing. And it will also enable you to identify whether you are eligible for that service or not. So, this Umang app aligns with the G20 Leaders Declaration 2023 by serving as digital public infrastructure that provides secure and inclusive access to a wide range of government services. With 313 departments and 1745 services, which are listed over there in the Umang portal, has 56 million registered users and processed 3.849 billion transactions till now. Means you want to see what all schemes are there, what all provisions are there, whether you are eligible or not, you can go to the Umang app, and that Umang app will tell you everything. On the other hand, we have this DigiLocker, which aims to advance paperless governance by providing citizens with authentic digital documents from various issuers stored in their locker accounts, and those are valid everywhere. Like I gave you the example of your driving license, you can store it over here. Your passport also can be stored over here. Your PAN card can be stored over here. So if anyone asks you, you can open that DigiLocker app and show it to them. The passport, if you're traveling abroad, will be needed in physical copy because visa and all is stamped over there. But as of now, this is happening. But in the future, that can also be changed. So this was, I would say, the diverse applications, or I would say the diverse initiatives taken under this broad umbrella digital public infrastructure. This digital public infrastructure is very much crucial for the India's development story. If this will not be there, then India's progress, or for that matter, any country's progress, will be slowed down. The good thing is that digitalization is increasing, people are adopting more and more, and people are benefiting out of it more and more. Now, next topic is responsible use of artificial intelligence. Now, I would say India Government of India. I heard the other day the Prime Minister of India talking about artificial intelligence, and he was urging people to more and more responsibly use artificial intelligence. And he said that we cannot deny the fact and we cannot ignore artificial intelligence. We will have to use it. And we'll make sure that we use it for its, I would say, beneficial purposes, not for its harmful purposes. Ministry of Electronics and IT has undertaken various schemes and programs to accelerate the implementation and development of AI in India. These initiatives align with the G20 Leaders Declaration in 2023. Meet these efforts. What are it? Reskilling, upskilling of professionals, online portals, capacity building, research centers, and international collaborations. Furthermore, the commitment to promoting responsible AI for achieving SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, which have to be achieved till the year 2030. The New Delhi Leaders Declaration on Responsible AI, the recently concluded G20 summit in New Delhi, that is 9 to 10 September, has tackled multiple aspects related to responsible AI. Now, what is responsible AI? It is a loosely defined term, but yes, as you can see, the name suggests that using artificial intelligence for the benefit of the society, not for creating, I would say, any challenges in the society. That is responsible AI. Like by using AI, you can create deep fakes, but deepfakes certainly is not an example of responsible AI. You can create, like I gave you the example of vaccine certificates, which were created instantly and were there in your inboxes or were there on your message boxes, and you had to click on the link and you could download the certificate. And that all happened in a flash of, I would say, time. When you were coming out after getting vaccinated, you had that certificate in your hand digitally. Artificial intelligence was used. On that certificate, your name was picked up, what was there, your Aadhaar number, your address, your vaccination center, which vaccine you were administered, at what time, at what place you were administered. Everything was there on that certificate. That is responsible use of AI. The European Union's proposed AI Act is the most comprehensive attempt to establish regulatory framework with respect to artificial intelligence. So, leaders in the G20 summit, they are talking more and more about, responsible AI. Now, what is responsible AI? Responsible AI, RAI, is broadly understood as the practice of designing, developing, and deploying AI to empower employees and businesses, impact society in a fair manner. AI has dual use. It has benefits, it has challenges also. And hence, responsible AI is targeting, I would say, the good part of AI. It is loose and flexible understanding, and it posits RAI as an umbrella term that usually encompasses considerations around fair, explainable, and trustworthy AI systems. So, it is like that. Now, key highlights of the adoption during this G20 summit in New Delhi. New Delhi Leaders Declaration highlights the significance of harnessing AI responsibly for good and for all. It states that the G20 leaders are committed to leveraging AI for the public good in a responsible, inclusive, and human centric manner. The declaration also reaffirms the leaders' commitment to G20 AI principles of 2019. In 2019 summit that was there in Osaka, we adopted this. And in the very same year, I remember OECD, that is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, also adopted these principles for responsible AI, and from them only we took, I would say, inspiration. And here in G20 also we adopted this. Now, towards this, in this year, the G20 leaders agreed to extend support to educational institutions and teachers to enable them to keep pace with emerging trends and technological advances, including AI. So, this is what was decided this year's, that we will go for more and more responsible use of AI, that is called as responsible AI. And with this, we have ended the third part of Yojana also, and the entire month's Yojana is complete. Now I will be meeting you next month with the same magazine, that is Yojana, but since it is an issue-based magazine, so different issues, whichever will be covered in the month of December. So till then, you have to read this, you have to watch the video, also try to read the original text of Yojana. If you read the original text of Yojana, you'll get at least one understanding from there. Now in Yojana, there are multiple articles, and those articles are written in 1000 to 1200 words. And that is how you can frame an essay. This is something which has to be learned from the Yojana magazines also. Apart from the content, apart from everything else, this can also be learned by aspirants, that how to frame an essay, because all those articles are are in the form of essays only. So be very careful. See you next month with the Yojana magazines, and obviously I will be coming every day with the daily analysis. Namaste. Jai Hind.